Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Quick Expert Reviews. This time what I'm gonna do like a review of a Lexus third generation Lexus GS450h. However, it's all the pros and cons of a car after 1 year of owning it. So where do I start? So apart from like all the pros of having a hybrid, I've spent all the summer, autumn and winter, and hopefully spring soon as well with the GS450h, and I've noticed a couple of things. So first of all, during winter time, when it's a minus degree Celsius, let's say it's -2 degrees, I've noticed that it takes longer for the batteries and the electric powertrain to kick in. I presume that's purely because of the temperature. Imagine having a smartphone and using it while it's like -3, -4. You notice that everything is slower, everything sluggish on the phone and so on. So I presume it's the same thing with the car. It's not by any means slow or anything like that. It's all about the powertrain. It takes longer for it to kick in. And also when you want to use the heating in your car, for example, and you want to warm up everything yourself and everything inside, it uses the petrol engine, not the electric engine, so the electric powertrain. So the MPG consumption goes higher. In summer I used to average between 32 and 37 miles per gallon. That's in combined cycle, like city driving and motorways. In winter it was roughly around 22 and 26. So, and I do drive dynamically, so I have to admit that I was a bit disappointed. However, bear in mind that it's still a very powerful car. Okay, 340 plus brake horsepower, 3.5 liter V6 and a electric powertrain. So yeah, it's not that bad. As far as I remember, Lexus didn't advertise the GS450h as a economical car. It was more of a performance hybrid. So yeah, sounds alright. Another thing is that you get 12 or 14 Mark. You've got like I've got a Mark Levinson audio system. And I think it's 12 or 14 speakers. One of the speakers is crackling. I think that's because of me, because I did listen to the music too loud. I think even more than the volume level is. So it started to crackle. It's not that bad. However, when you set the volume around 35, that's very loud. You're gonna hear that in a second. You can hear that crackling. That's one speaker, so it's not that bad, but yeah. Again, I don't think you're gonna take the car to a racetrack. I did, and I'm planning on doing it more often. What I've noticed, couple of things. First of all, the car, even in the sports mode where it dampens tightens the suspension, I've noticed that the car behaves like a yacht, like a cruise ship. So basically, and to be honest, we weren't driving that fast. It was a very technical track, Three Sisters racetrack, where the most you can do is around 50 miles per hour. But I have to admit that I was struggling, especially that you can't turn the traction control off. There is some sort of like a method where you press the brake pedal, then you change the ignition, then go back to brake pedal, then press the thingy. But to be honest, I couldn't be asked, so I just pressed it off. But whenever you press off traction control and then again you start to drive above 40 miles per hour, it kicks in. So that's a bit pants. But going back to the racetrack, I've noticed one thing. So when you're driving and you want to do quick maneuvers with the steering wheel, you can't, because you've got a tunnel here, which is brilliant for like cruise driving. That's what the car was built for, and motorway driving, because you're basically, it's very comfortable for your elbows. However, whenever you want to do quick turns, you hit the thingy, so it's not that comfy. But then again, like I said, it's not a car built for race drivers, it's not a car built for track. It's a limousine, so it's a saloon, so very comfy saloon. So that's only me being picky. Apart from that, what I've noticed as well is that a lot of people ask me, does it feel when you accelerate? Can you feel it? And so on. To be honest, based on the power output and the Lexus official figures, which is like 5.3 to 60 and 5.6 to 100 kilometers per hour, I have to admit you don't feel it that much. I can't show you now because the weather conditions are quite bad, but what it is, you notice that everything vanishes in the rear view mirrors, everything around you moves very fast, but inside in the car it's so refined you can't actually feel it. So again, if you'd be driving let's say a Subaru Legacy or GT or GTB, excuse me, or you'd be driving a BMW 535 DRI, these are cars that make a stronger connection, a bond between the driver and a car. However, I have to admit that their refinement, their reliability, their level of detail isn't as big, as unbelievable as with Lexus. For example, the seats. I know that Lexus, I've read that Lexus engineers have spent roughly around 5 years developing those seats. Now, I have to admit that 2 weeks ago we went to Wales with my family. It was supposed to be a 6-hour trip, but obviously having 2 kids, it was roughly around 9-hour trip. I have to admit that as soon as I left the car, I felt so refreshed, it's unbelievable. Even the sofa in my house isn't as comfy as this car is. It's unreal, unbelievable. So to be honest, like I said, most of the time you spend on the motorways, you spend in the city, in the traffic. So that car was built for that, not for racetrack. But again, I'm gonna try take it for Silverstone, to Silverstone next month. We'll see how it goes. What I would suggest though, if you're planning on taking the car to the racetrack, do get the sport strings or think about coilovers, otherwise it's going to be really dreadful. Also a good thing, I've read the reviews, I've seen some people moaning about the car behaving in snowing conditions. Obviously it's Manchester in UK, so we had like -3 degrees, but we did have a lot of snow this year, actually, I'd say, yeah, February. So in snow mode, I have to admit that the car behaves really predictable, even though it's a rear-wheel drive. So can't complain. Again, brilliant behavior. Absolutely didn't feel, I felt absolutely confident with driving this car, so can't complain at all. Anything else? Nothing broke down. I had it for a year now, so touch wood. Oh yeah, I do have wood, so I can touch wood actually. Nothing broke down. I do have to admit though that the oxidizing of the alloy wheels does happen, so I'll have to get my alloy wheels refreshed. But apart from that, it's such a smooth and pleasant car to drive, it's unbelievable. I did drive the 5 Series, This one is 2008. I did drive, but pre-facelift, not the facelift model. I did drive the 5 Series. I did drive the Audi, was an A3, and Benz C180 compressor. I do have to admit that GS450h, or actually any GS, third generation, nails it. It's an unbelievable car, especially with the level of equipment you get. I've got the SE version, so it lacks the radar cruise control and the moonroof, but apart from that, it's fully loaded with Marks Levinson's audio. Nothing to complain. The boot is 271 liters, so I was a bit worried about that. However, I do have to admit that it fits a pram, no problem at all, and it also fits our stuff if we're going for like family trips, like I said. So really can't complain. Obviously it's not an RX 400h or a, I don't know, an estate, but for what it is, with the batteries inside, it's still pretty decent. I do have to admit, I had a Subaru Legacy before, and I think the boot was around 400 liters, 300 something, and it wasn't that easy to put the pram inside. So well done for making it so wide, again, to the Lexus engineers. Really happy with the car. I'll probably keep it for like 3 years, then I'm thinking about moving to either ISF or 4th gen GS450h F Sport, but time will show. Also, thanks for watching. Probably in the 2-3 weeks time I'm going down to London to do a review of a GSF and an ISF. The ISF is 2008, GSF obviously 2015, so it's gonna be fun. Thanks for watching again, and see you next time in Quick's Expert Reviews. Bye!